leave Emmendorp. Well, just 55 new COVID-19 cases since our report last night. It seems like a good day here in Montana, but just 4 new recoveries means that the active number moves significantly higher than Saturday. This brings the state total to 1,571 active cases. There are no new deaths to report today, but there are 2 additional hospitalizations as that number now sits at 83. Montana overall is expected to reach 5,000 cases on Monday. And due to the coronavirus starting tonight, Rocky Boy Chippewa Cree tribal members are under a 72-hour lockdown. That lockdown took effect at 10 o'clock tonight, just several minutes ago, and will continue until Wednesday, August 12th at 6 a.m. The Rocky Boy Health Center Incident Command and Chippewa Cree Tribe announced the change Friday. The red threat level 4 means a total shutdown on the reservation. Only essential workers are allowed to be out. Travel is limited during this time, and social gatherings are prohibited. In our Fire Watch tonight, MTN is working to learn details about a new wildfire that ignited Saturday south of Havre. A National Weather Service spotter tells MTN News the fire broke out on the peak of Baldy Mountain in the Bears Paw Mountains. The official told us that the area saw quite a bit of lightning several nights ago, and conditions have been dry since. Of course, we will update you with more information as we learn more. And Fergus County DES Coordinator Ben Phillips says crews continue to work on both fires burning in that area. He said the first fire, which burned about 10 acres, is 100% contained tonight. Personnel will start to leave that scene Monday. The Judith River Road fire is estimated to be about 1,050 acres in size. Crews fought several areas in that fire today. Up to 100 firefighters will be working to contain as much of that fire as possible Monday before hot, dry weather moves in later this week. And in the Helena, Lewis and Clark National Forest, mild temperatures and light winds helped firefighters fighting the Fields Gulch fire today. Crews will begin to build containment lines Monday. It's estimated at 5 acres with 0% containment. Higher temperatures and lower humidity is expected tomorrow, which will increase that fire behavior. And in our forecast, a hot, dry outlook this next week. Here's MTN's Russ Thomas.
Yeah, another great weekend across the region. Sunshine both Saturday and Sunday. Temperatures a little bit cooler today than what we saw on Saturday. In fact, for this time of year, early August, quite cool out there, very comfortable. 71 degrees in Great Falls, 77 Helena. We saw a lot of highs today in the lower to upper 70s. And again, when you see the sunshine with that, and we're talking about August 9th, that is very unusual. Typically, again, 80s and 90s out there. So we're enjoying this break from the heat. We're going to see temperatures warm up a little bit as we head into the early part of the work week, and then bringing those numbers back down again a little bit later in the week. As far as our winds go, nothing that really stands out. It's been breezy at times this afternoon. You can see Great Falls wind gusts as high as 20 miles per hour out of the north-northwest. Helena about 15 miles per hour out of the northwest. You look off to our west, Missoula wind speed 22, Glasgow 22 as well. Satellite radar image again, things are very quiet like you might expect with a lot of sunshine. We'll have your complete forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Thanks, Russ. Nationwide, as the government struggles to reach agreement on an economic stimulus plan, the number of coronavirus cases in the U.S. has passed the 5 million mark, according to Johns Hopkins University. Top Democrats are reacting after President Trump signed executive action Saturday that bypassed Congress's economic stimulus bill. The president unveiled the measures on unemployment benefits, evictions, payroll taxes, and student loans. Some lawmakers say the president's plan could face legal challenges. CBS News correspondent Tom Hansen has the latest from New York.
President Trump suggested Sunday there may still be room to negotiate with Democrats on a new coronavirus relief package.
We've gotten much of what we wanted, and they didn't get what they wanted, and they would have, and I guess they still could, in all fairness.
Earlier, leading congressional Democrats slammed the executive actions the president signed after talks collapsed on Capitol Hill.
The president's meager, weak, and unconstitutional actions further demand that we have an agreement.
It's so put together in a crazy way. If he just would have renewed the $600 as we do in the HEROES bill through January, things would flow smoothly.
Under the president's action, the recently expired $600 a week supplement to unemployment benefits would be cut to $400.
This gives them a great incentive to go back to work.
The president said only some states will be expected to chip in about a quarter of the money for the benefits. On Saturday, President Trump also signed measures to defer student loan payments and payroll tax withholdings from some workers. He said if he's reelected, he wants to cut the payroll tax, which helps finance Social Security and Medicare.
Well, what we're doing is we reimburse through the general fund, not through Social Security. This will have no impact on Social Security.
The president's measures on evictions does not renew a freeze on removing tenants from properties with government-backed mortgages. Instead, it would have the government look for ways to help those on the brink. Tom Hansen, CBS News.
Well, two of Montana's top lawmakers weighed in on the pandemic last night during the first debate in the 2020 Steve versus Steve U.S. Senate race. Bullock and Daines traded different answers about the current economic response strategy in their debate last night.
We sent $1.25 billion to Montana at the end of March. That bill passed March 27th. The governor is sitting on over $1 billion. $1 billion. That money needs to be deployed to our communities, to our counties, to every corner of our state. I'm not sure if he thinks there's an advantage to hoarding it. It needs to get out quickly because Montanans are hurting.
The senator fails to understand that we have already allocated $800 million. He fails to understand that we've actually worked with businesses to say, what do they need to make sure that they can go forward and actually thrive after this. He fails to understand that at the end of the day, we have 5 more months. This pandemic's not going away, and we want to make sure to use that money wisely.
If you missed last night's debate, you can watch it in its entirety right now on our websites. Well, between now and Election Day, campaign ads are expected to appear all over your television screen, with advertising experts estimating $10 billion will be spent overall. So what tricks do campaigns use when cutting a political ad? Our Joe St. George found out.
Truth be told, it's that time of year.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
When your television gets overwhelmed.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
So what should viewers look out for when watching a political ad?
I write and produce.
To get answers, we went to Democratic ad maker Julian Mulvey.
At this point, all gloves are off.
And Republican ad maker Sarah Cutter. The first secret revealed? Pay attention to font.
I got the red line here.
Julian says Democrats will use a lot of red lettering on ads against the president. It's meant to get your attention and instill fear.
But you see a lot in negative advertising, and the first color you ever see in your life is red.
The second secret revealed? Pay attention to the voice. When a campaign is worried they might be a little too over the top with a claim, they'll use a female voice.
But no one is here to take your call.
Sarah says this ad by President Trump did just that.
There can be more fear in a female's voice without it seeming to be too much.
Be on the lookout for TV journalists appearing in your television through campaign commercials. It's a tactic being used more often, and you should know journalists don't like it, and journalists can't stop it. Julian says TV stations can't sue to get their reporters out of ads, and research shows viewers are more likely to believe those commercials when they see the face of someone they watch on the news.
Local anchors are trusted individuals.
The fourth secret revealed: distorted photos of candidates. In Georgia, Senator David Perdue had to take down this after his campaign made his opponent's nose look bigger. Secret number 5, actors and staffers are sometimes used.
The medical bills were astronomical.
This ad in Arizona tells the story of someone with cancer being inspired by Senator Martha McSally's campaign. The campaign never disclosed the woman used to work for McSally.
Keep your wits about you.
And secret revealed number 6, don't click on those digital ads. Sarah telling us when you click on an ad, computer programs will simply serve you up more ads in the future.
We can track your information and follow you with more ads. It's kind of like when you go and click on that Patagonia jacket, and then that Patagonia jacket suddenly follows you around the internet. It's the same technology.
For Truth Be Told, I'm Joe St. George.
Thanks, Joe. Coming up next on the 10 o'clock news, emergency crews were kept busy this weekend trying to capture a Great Falls area visitor. We'll have more on our Moose on the Loose next.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching the MTN 10 o'clock news.
And welcome back to the 10 o'clock news. seems it was an interesting weekend for Great Falls residents on both 2 and 4 legs. Viewers sent us these pictures and videos of the animal cruising around the Riverview neighborhood Saturday night. We're told that the moose was seen again early this morning along River Drive between 25th and 15th Streets near the Missouri River. Officials originally shot the animal with a tranquilizer dart, but it ran into the water. FWP wardens were able to rope the moose safely to shore. It was released into the mountains this afternoon. And according to Feeding America, 1 in 10 Montanans struggle with hunger and can't afford to put food on the table. So over 10 years ago, the Montana Cattlemen's Association took hunger into their own hands, making sure to fill up stomachs and plates across the state with their foundation, Beef on Every Plate, a program where cattlemen, meat processors, and food banks team up to provide beef to those in need. MTN's Lindsay Hyatt explains why the association is currently struggling to meet their distribution goal.
With hunger a persistent problem in Montana, donated cattle offer a solution.
The problem with people not having enough to eat in the state of Montana has just been growing and growing and growing over the years. And so in 2007, 2008, we started the program of Beef on Every Plate through the foundation. People donate beef to the foundation. We in turn have it processed into 1-pound hamburger packages and give it to food banks all over the state.
Statewide distribution is only possible when MCA has the donors and processors necessary to do so.
The processors are so backlogged that we're having a lot of problem trying to get the product processed.
And cattle donors are in short supply.
I just put out a 1,300 unit mailing to invite people to donate.
But with few donors and limited meat processors available to help, Montana Cattlemen's Foundation is worried there won't be beef on every plate. While cattle and processors are limited, funds for the foundation are not.
This year we applied for a food pantry grant, and they gave us a grant for $50,000 to help us supply beef to food banks.
They simply need the product and facilities to use those funds.
We have to wait for people to donate, and then we have to find a processor, because we can't really locate a processor until we have the donation, because we don't know where it's being donated. It could be anywhere in the state of Montana.
Even Great Falls. McDonald reached out to the Great Falls Community Food Bank to ask if they'd like to receive beef through the program and received a positive response.
We're really excited about this program because we don't get a whole lot of meat donated. We do get some during the hunter season, but we don't get a lot, so this could really be awesome for us.
And not a regulatory issue with the food bank.
As long as it's commercially processed by a processor that's been inspected by either the USDA or the state of Montana, then we can definitely take it.
With food banks and MCA officials eager to put beef on every plate, it's up to cattlemen and meat processors to step up to it.
There's a lot of people out there that need help, and if we have the ability to do it, we need to do it.
In Vaughan, Lindsay Hyatt, MTN News.
Thanks, Lindsay. And if you'd like to donate to the foundation or have information on available meat processors, please contact MCA at montanacattlemen.org. Well, the struggle to keep food in their homes could cause Americans long-term health issues. That's according to a study published online on Sage Journals. Researchers looked at a study of 25,000 people over 10 years. They found people who experienced food insecurity were more likely to develop serious health issues such as cardiovascular disease. And those issues increase the chances of an early death. According to researchers, among the participants in the study, death from heart disease and cardiovascular mortality was 75% higher in food insecure people.
Coming up after the break, we're going to take a look at that forecast as we head into your work week. I'll give you a clue coming up here, though. It looks like it is going to be pretty nice. I'll have more on that after the break.
Storm Tracker weather starts now with meteorologist Russ Thomas.
Hope you had a wonderful Sunday. Weather certainly cooperated. Mother Nature doing a great job again today. It's a very interesting day. We talked about this a few minutes ago, the fact that we're sitting here and we're still early August 9th. We've got numbers out there. This is typically one of our hottest times of year, late July, early August. And we're looking at temperatures today in the low, mid, upper 70s across the region. The entire state was well below normal, but you know what? It feels really good. Again, a lot of times this time of year, you know it, we see upper 80s, we see 90s, sometimes even triple digits, and we're not anywhere close to to that. Looking great over Great Falls today. Same thing for Helena. The shot taken a little while ago, about 6 o'clock this afternoon, and you could see how good it looked out there in Helena with that sunshine again all day long. Beautiful. Those numbers, as mentioned, a lot of 70s across the region today. I think we're going to jump. In fact, I know we are as we head toward Monday, Tuesday, even into early Wednesday, but we're certainly not going to see any hot numbers. And then after that, we're actually going to bring those numbers down a little bit toward the end of the week. You'll see that in just 1 second. Right now, our current temperatures, we're at 71 Great Falls, only 67 in Lewistown right now, 77 Helena, 72 Bozeman, western Montana, low to mid 70s there as well. Wind speeds, we took a look at this earlier. Breezy across the entire state, but there's not one spot you look out and say it was just flat out windy. We're seeing a lot of teens to mid 20s for those wind gusts this afternoon, again across the entire state. Satellite and radar image, not going to spend a whole lot of time here either. There's just nothing to talk about. Things are very quiet right now around the state. A couple of very light showers popping up heading toward the eastern part of the state. But again, what are we talking about here? Just a couple of raindrops. Otherwise, we're sunny, we're quiet, we're dry. Overnight tonight, lows dropping down to some pretty cool numbers to start our Monday morning. We've got mid 40s to low 50s. Great Falls 47 tomorrow morning. It's going to start our Monday morning in Helena and Townsend at 51 degrees, 43 in Butte, and 39 the low in Phillipsburg. So future track, again, it's more of the same. It's sunshine from start to finish tomorrow. Going to be a great day. Temperatures will be a little bit warmer tomorrow than what we saw today. In fact, several degrees, up to 84 Great Falls, 85 in Helena for your Monday. We've got 82 in Butte, 82 Townsend, 87 degrees in Missoula. How about 81 Lewistown tomorrow? Again, nice day, comfortable, not as cool as today, but certainly, again, we're not talking about hot numbers. We're looking at numbers in the low to mid 80s, pretty much area wide. I think Tuesday, Wednesday looking like our two warmest days of the week. Here's what we've got for you. 89 degrees. Again, really it does come down to Tuesday, as you can see with that sunshine. Some areas are going to touch the low 90s. Most are going to find themselves in the mid to upper 80s. And again, that includes an 89 in Great Falls. On Wednesday, we bring it back down to about 83 degrees for that high. Thursday, Friday, chance of showers, minimal, but that's the best chance we have all week long. And again, those high temperatures are going to be below the norm for this time of year. Thursday, 80. Friday, only 76 degrees for a high. You look at Saturday and Sunday, sunshine 80 and 87. And there are indications that early next week we could jump back up to some hotter numbers finally. But again, that's a good ways away. For the week, we're looking very good most days as high temperatures are going to be below the norm with sunshine. Helena, 85 degrees tomorrow, up to 89 on Tuesday. Again, it looks like that's going to be our hot day this week. Wednesday, sunshine with a high of 84 degrees. Thursday, 83. Looking great on Friday with a high of an 80. Next weekend, 84 and 89 under a sunny sky.
Thanks, Russ. Well, live events with in-person crowds are hard to come by these days, but the coronavirus pandemic didn't stop one church in Great Falls from putting on an annual tradition. MTN's Matt Holzaffel gives us an inside look at a rare occurrence this summer, that being a live concert.
I'm so happy, no sorrow inside. Every summer for the last, I'm sure it's been well over 20 years, we've had an outdoor concert here. This year's a little bit different.
An annual tradition with some changes.
You can come and stay in your car and not have interaction with anybody. Wear your mask, socially distance.
The Johnson brothers are a community favorite. Just happy they can continue to bring music to people, even in a pandemic.
We've been out here in Montana now close to 50 years. We were certainly aware of the restrictions and things like that. I was glad to hear that we're going to have it though.
The Johnson brothers perform at this church every year, although they're usually out on tour with their Light and Sound show during the summer. That tour was canceled due to COVID-19. There was even some question about whether this concert would happen. Thanks to some innovation and of course masks and social distancing, the show will go on.
We talked a little bit about not having it, but our fear was, as many other events, if you don't do it one year, people forget about it and you never get back to it. So we were determined to do it in some way, shape, or form, and this is the format we came up with.
All part of what the church calls
make sure that people are safe, but also give them a way to be safe together apart is what we call it. So being together apart, you know, it's important to have that fellowship and that time together.
In Great Falls, Matt Holzaffel, MTN News.
And the church says under normal circumstances, they would have food and drinks for the crowd. They called this year's event a parking lot concert. Still to come on the 10 o'clock news, baseball fans around the state gathered in Billings and Lewistown for Legion Championships. We'll take you to the field for the finals next.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching the MTN 10 o'clock news.
And welcome back. Well, in a season that few will ever forget, it all came down to today at the State A Legion Baseball Tournament at Ryan Sparks Field in Lewistown. MTN's Tom Wiley takes us to the championship game.
3 months ago, no one was even sure we'd get to this point. But here we are, state championship Sunday for the Montana Legion baseball season. 7 innings to decide who takes home a trophy and who goes home disappointed. It's the State A chipper. The Billings Blue Jays 1 win away. Redbirds of Lewistown need 2. Top of the 3rd we go. Billings on the board first. 2 on for Davis Mosier. Blasts one deep to the wall. 2 runners would cross. Makes it 2-0 Blue Jays. Next batter's Gunnar Thompson, and he finds some space in right field. Mosier scores, and it's 3-0 Billings. Top of the 5th, more from the Blue Jays. Cruz Slavira gets all of this one over the wall. It's a 2-run home run to make it 5-0. Slavira was named the top batter in the tournament. Top of the 6th we go, just piling it on here. Mosier again at the plate with a sac fly to left field. Lance Schaff scores. 6 runs cross, making it 11-0. Bottom of the 6th, Redbirds with some work to do. Bases loaded. Taylor Smith gets a single, and that'll drive in Luke Clinton. Lewistown finally on the board. Can they extend the game? No, they cannot. Reagan Walker pitched a gem, strikes out the final 2 batters to end the game, and the celebration is on. The Billings Blue Jays win 11-1 to claim a State A championship after the strangest season in Montana Legion history.
We knew it was going to be shortened up, so we didn't know if we were even going to play at the start. But then this year we knew that we could compete with all the 18-year-olds and all the older kids.
All state, let's go, Dave! All state, Dave!
How the baby, Dave? This season!
Okay. Strike up this last 2 kids.
Let's go, Walkie!
And that's a wrap on the 2020 Montana Legion baseball season. Reporting from Lewistown, Tom Wiley, MTN Sports.
Thanks, Tom. And also in the State AA Legion Baseball Championship in Billings, defending state champions, the Bozeman Bucks beat the capital city's Helena Senators 5-0 for the title today. That full story also on montanasports.com. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Or look at our 7-day forecast for Great Falls. Again, what we're going to see is sunshine, dry weather through the entirety of the week. Temperatures fluctuating back and forth just a little bit. Tomorrow, 84 degrees, gorgeous day. It'll be a little bit hotter on Tuesday. We're going to see our warmest day of the week with a high of 89. When we get to Wednesday, we're back to 83 degrees. Thursday and Friday, finishing off the week partly cloudy, just a very slim chance of a shower with a high of 80 on Thursday and 76 degrees on Friday.
Thanks, Russ. And this month's awaiting child, we introduce you to 12-year-old Mason. Mason loves to swim, draw, play video games, go to the movies, camp, and play in the great outdoors.
I love video games, but I also love going outside and making sticks.
You made your own boat?
Yeah, we made our own boat.
Mason tells us that he loves to cook. He says his favorites to make are steak, potatoes, and hot dogs. When we spoke to Mason, his eyes lit up when he was mentioning how much he loves to go off-roading in all-terrain vehicles. This adventure seeker also loves horror, adventure, and dinosaur movies, saying his favorite actor is Kevin Hart. Mason tells us he helps to take care of the 4 dogs at his group home and recently took part in dog training. It may surprise you, but this 12-year-old loves musicals. Mason shares with us one Broadway play, Newsies, had a positive impact on him.
It was about these kids who weren't getting treated right, and they upped the price so they wouldn't sell them in newspapers or something, and then they basically at the end of the movie it was a happy ending, so that's why I like it.
And if you would like to know more about Mason, contact the Montana Department of Public Health and Human Services for information about adoption or fostering. That number listed right there on the bottom of your screen. That's all the time we have tonight at 10. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great rest of your night and stay safe.